Undergrunt.
The Skeksis.
With their hard and twisted bodies.
Their harsh and twisted wills.
For 1,000 years they have ruled.
Yet now!
They are only 10.
A dying race!
Ruled by a dying emperor!
Imprisoned within themselves in a dying land.
In a small little ship in the center of Mars was a sack of souls with experiment scars. When the psychedelic monk said, "I'll take two," and he put them in a rocket and he ate a lot of glue. And he shot them straight to Earth where they turned into babies. They were named Bob and Matt, and they rarely got rabies. And the monk made a movie of their whole entire lives. They were panoramic scenes and zooms of the thighs. One time Bob had sex with a ladle, and one time Matt lost a vet to a cradle, and another time Bob caught a dinosaur mom, and another time Matt bought a replica of Guam. And all this and more is on a DVD set, only $20.99 with the purchase of a gem. But if you call right now and say, "Where's my whisk?" we'll include this bonus disc.
Hey, welcome to Bonus Disc! I'm one of your hosts, Bob Rose. With me is another host, Matt P.A.
Hello!
And with us for the first time ever, which I can't believe, is Mr. Johnny Marra.
Hello.
Hey, John.
How's it going? I also have Sergeant Fish here with me.
A very appropriate fourth guest.
Yes, who
An
also
actual star of the film we watched, so we're going to ask him some questions
We're going to ask
later.
some questions
will
about
have
that.
0 lines and we'll end up on the floor.
So, I'm going to start out by saying two things. One, Jono, I'm sorry.
For what?
Because you wanted to watch one movie, and I dissuaded you, and then I'm like, no. And then I was like, you should pick, and then I was like, no, wait a minute, we're watching.
Oh, yeah.
I totally
You did.
steamrolled
You did. You're
Jono.
like,
It's
oh, no,
okay.
we should just watch this. You've never seen an Uwe Boll film. You should watch the weirdest
It is
one
not-
that is not even a movie.
Watch Uwe Boll parodying himself like for the first time.
Here's your introduction, Jono. We watched Blubberella, and that's why I'm apologizing to Jono, because
it was excruciating. I said that several times.
it's like I can't. 180 degrees isn't even enough degrees to say how far it is from what you wanted to watch. Yeah. Secondly, I just want to say that this movie might be the most offensive movie we've ever done on this show.
Probably.
It was
So
horrifying.
I just want to alleviate anyone saying we're not laughing with this movie.
No, it's like
It is
jaw-droppingly
ignorant, offensive, disgusting. It should not exist.
It's
Right
great.
off the bat, I just wanted to say
It was It was absolutely horrifying. The shit that was in there.
it's
Like,
horrifying.
It was like I could only think he was like, oh, South Park would do this shit and get away with it, but
No, but
and
they
like
didn't
only
have
because
tact.
South Park, or
Yeah.
or the fact that it's an animation like is the
Yeah.
only way. But yeah, or like would say something. This wasn't saying anything. This was just punching down as hard as possible in every
that is
downward
the
direction.
Best two words to say. This movie punches down with abandon. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
so.
Like, isn't it funny how people are less than you? You're like, Jesus Christ.
It's rotten. If
Yeah.
you guys, I've seen Postal. It's pretty much that. But if you're trying to do like Airplane, it's like his Airplane but it's like all punching down jokes.
Are there people in blackface in that one too? I could.
Don't get too ahead of it. But you're right. Yes.
You can edit that out. You can bleep
No,
that or
that's
something.
fine. It happened. So I wanted to read you
Happens
guys
multiple times.
before we get into
I can
the
believe that.
movie, which I don't know if we're able to even recall at this point. But
I got it.
you got it.
Oh, I
okay.
got it locked and
So-
loaded. Such an easy
For
thing to
anyone
remember.
listening, just so you know how this movie was made, it was filmed. This is the trivia from IMDb. It was filmed back to back with BLOODRAYNE: The Third Reich, which is BLOODRAYNE 3. So Boll basically shot a scene from BLOODRAYNE 3, then had the cast redo the scene funny with improv.
Quote unquote
and with a
funny.
different,
ma-
with a different lead actor.
Yes, Lindy Hollister,
Yeah.
who is Blubberella, she's playing the parody version of the Damp Fear vampire from BLOODRAYNE.
Yes.
What's her name? I'm gonna find her name.
You mean
The actress?
yeah, the actress.
Lindy Hollister?
No, the other.
The other
the
Blood
real
Rain?
Blood Rain?
Yeah,
Who cares? We didn't watch her movie.
So
that's fair.
I didn't watch her movie. I don't know.
Never mind.
We don't need to know her name.
Okay.
there's just oh my god, I almost want to say I gotta save a few of these for when we're talking about it because they're unbelievable. But in an interview in the New York Times, Boll called this his response to Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards.
What?
What?
Well, the Third Reich,
Hang
not
on. I get-
this. Not
Hey,
It says it in
Blubberella.
Blubberella. This is the Blubberella.
Oh my god! All right.
Dude,
Dude,
hang on.
I thought this was hilarious too. There's a coin. We don't need to mention it when we get there. The coin that Clint Howard flips in the movie is a prop from The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Fun fact.
All right.
What the fuck? Also, most of the Nazi flags used in production are from Clint Howard's personal collection. Which this might be fake or
That's
something.
eyebrow raising.
Man, Clint Howard was one of the weirdest parts of this movie.
We'll
Like,
get to it. We'll get there.
we'll get to
there.
it. Okay.
Also, Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue fame contributed to the rock music cue during the ambush in the woods.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
What?
All I remember was the weird kaleidoscope music and shit.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, no,
There's-
Calliope, not kaleidoscope.
Well, the weird thing about this is he was filming it in tandem with Blood Rain. Blood Rain had a budget that accounted for score.
Yes.
This movie was like silent unless there
It was
like
silent or,
ridiculous
like,
music playing.
Royalty free,
Yes.
like silly music.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like he would take a scene from Blood Rain 3 and then put silly music over it.
I'm not even lying where I'm pretty sure there's a scene that is just him
No,
whistling a song wrong. Like it's sort of wrong. And it's just
man,
whistling.
Okay, we got to get into it because there's one bit of trivia in here I cannot believe.
Okay.
All right, so it starts out from
You're
what I
wa-
remember with her with
You're watching Blubberella like
just
swing
doing-
swords around.
and
like
it's
a-
over edited to shit.
Yeah. And she doesn't know how to wield weapons
She
properly.
looked like I said. She looked like Star Wars kid. Remember that video? of
Yes.
Oh, of
the kid-
course.
Yeah, that's
Star Wars
that's
kid.
what it reminded me of.
Yeah, and it's
It's
like
bad.
what,
It's
a
long.
minute and a
It's
half,
like,
maybe?
God damn! Any portion of this that you're not laughing over is taking too long.
And there was a lot of that.
All of it is taking too long.
It's if anything, it's the least offensive part of the movie
I guess
because it's just her doing
the
sword
fat
play.
shaming is the least offensive portion of
Oh,
this
that was-
movie.
I mean, the whole movie's a fat shaming.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
yeah.
like the bed, the
It lays the groundwork for the
yeah,
fat
it's
shaming.
the foundation for all the other horrible shit everybody says.
Did she ever seen? So the next scene I remember was she wakes up in her bedroom and she like.
And she's like,
I
"Oh,
was like, what
right.
year? What year is it? Where
Well,
am
it shows
I?
her apartment, which is like this sort of broken down German apartment that has,
But it also
it has a
is-
4-color poster of her eating chicken on
Yeah,
it,
it's like
and a bunch of old vampire movie posters on the walls.
yeah.
yeah."
Right,
And-
and
and-
it says it's 1944.
And it has a typewriter, and it has that MacBook with the Mac.
Yeah, she has a
symbol freaked out.
computer.
She has a
room.
computer. Guys, said to you, me and Matt have seen this movie before,
Yeah.
by the way, and I don't remember anything.
I remembered some of it,
except
but Christ,
the dream sequences. Who
Yes.
could forget those?
unreal.
Right.
She's got a voiceover at this part too, explaining.
She's a superhero.
She's like, "I'm a superhero. I'm the damn fear."
Tosses in that she was raped. She just
for
tosses that
some
in there
reason
casually.
by by Sigmund Freud.
She was raped by Sigmund Freud.
God.
Which at that
God
moment I
damn
was
it.
like, man, what did I do to Jono?
Yeah, you
I
did
was
say.
like-
Are you paused and we're
I-
like,
I
do
did.
you actually want to continue to watch this?
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
And
like,
then
let's
you
do-
said yes.
let's do- I wanna-
you had it. You had your chance.
I gave you the out, dude.
I think I even said like, no, this is probably. I'm probably.
I
the
should have been
perfect
like, it's
person for
okay to
this."
say no. It's okay.
Oh no, it's not like. It's not like I enjoy it. It's just, it's like, oh,
It's horrible.
It's so gruesome and horrifying. Like I don't. How does this? How does?
Gruesome.
It's gruesome. It's horrible.
Dude, she jokes about being raped like it's nothing.
no, within the first 2 minutes,
And then says
Oh,
she's
yeah.
getting on her dating app, which
It's Hebrew. It was like
Hebrew
Hebrew
or something.
hunks. Or
I don't even want to
something.
say it. It's terrible to say.
and it's just a series of like of like GIF images, you know, like
Yeah,
well, because
yeah.
that it
pop up because it's
sadly this sets the plot up. Sort of is that she dates Jewish men
And then she's like, "Oh, there's
through the internet in
gonna be-
1944.
which I get supposed to be funny, but it's not.
I mean, there's also
The movie loses you the second she said she was raped. It's terrible. It's like
you're like, wait, what's happening?
We watched.
I was looking at John's
I
face
watched
the whole time.
after we finished the movie. So I'm gonna fast forward here. After we finished the movie, I put on the Blood Rain Third Reich and I watched the opening scene, and the opening over the narration over like the scenes of people being marched to and from the trains does say how like rape was one of the things that was being used to like control and keep people down. It's like, but it's not mentioned just as a throwaway at all. It's just like,
does it bother you guys that he's German?
Can we point this out? I want to point this out.
This is
No
insane.
I don't know.
So he filmed these movies in tandem, and I feel like the fact that we have not watched the original movie is gonna make this like rundown impossible, because this movie
Because he didn't fill
like,
the holes in.
Yeah, this movie, like seriously, there's scenes where it's just like, there was one scene where he does the bunny ears, and I was like, this is just.
You said
They skipped the whole point of the scene in retelling the scene.
Right, yes. Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
so now me as the secondary viewer, I'm just like, I don't even get what the fuck is
that was-
happening.
that was-
anymore. It's crazy. So as we're describing what's going on in the scene, if you're like, wait, you never mentioned any plot points, it's not our fault. It's just a disclaimer.
He didn't mention them.
Yeah, it's because the characters don't mention plot points.
He remade his own movie
without the plot in it.
It's like he thought that only making fun of his own scenes that you might not have seen is enough to tell the story.
It's nuts.
In theater, like you in high school anyway, like usually 1 or 2 nights before opening night, like just for the hell of it, we were staying up late and going bananas. We would do
Like a
a
jokey
fun
version.
run. Yeah, you try to do the show like quickly, not as fast as possible, quickly, and like using it as like just getting the scene in and out as funny as possible. Sometimes people would switch roles and stuff. And that's what this reminded me of. It's like it was just a bunch.
Saying it was like theater,
Just a bunch of fucking theater kids, man. Like, that's what they're like. They're all the gags are about the fucking like dicks and coming on each other and like. And,
we haven't even got it yet.
and the bunny rabbit shit and God, Brando
Hold on.
impressions.
Right? Yes. Right.
I just want to make sure we remember all of it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, we'll
So, well, I mean, I've already forgotten. It goes. She
get
says
to the
her
train
dating
she
site,
does that. She
Do
wakes
they-
up in
Then
a
it shows-
room. She's like cooking. She goes in her giant freezer,
which is filled with meat.
filled with meat.
Oh, yeah.
and
She
she
does
talks
all
about
this, she does all this before the dating site. She goes around her apartment and talks about her life and how she eats
She
a
eats
fuck
just,
ton
like,
of
tons
meat.
of
And she says she's running low on meat.
So she's got to get some
More.
more, but she's gonna like
So
Nazis
she finds-
instead or something. She's like,
She's gonna eat Nazis
Also-
because she finds a Jewish guy, I guess, and she's like, "Oh, where there's Jewish guys, there must be Nazis."
Right.
In 1944, so and
And
then it cuts to the shot over the factory with the train
Oh,
station,
yeah.
and then they're at the train station.
which is
and there's a
a
guy.
train filled with.
There's a
People. It's train filled
well,
with-
Jew- it's
first-
filled
no,
with
no,
Jews.
First
I
thing
mean,
you
it's
see
terrible.
is her. This is where she's like, there's a guy eating a sandwich.
Oh my
while
god!
smoking a
Oh, that's
cigarette.
right.
Yeah.
No, it hard.
It just hard cuts to a
to him
guy
eating
I
sandwiches,
forgot about
Nazi
that.
soldier
and then
eating
she's
a sandwich
standing there looking at him eat the sandwich
for a while.
for a while,
and then she
he's-
makes that like
and
gimme
then she's
motion with her
like, yeah,
hand.
and
yeah,
he's
give me-
smoking and chewing at the same time. And then he goes. So then she goes like, "You don't want to end up like him." And she's points
like-
off camera, and there's
a
a
dead.
fake statue dummy of a German soldier has blood running down his forehead.
I wonder if it was like a background thing from
Blood Rain 3.
and they
It-
just like took it.
There's no context for it.
No, you want to end up like that guy, and he goes, "I'll take my chances" or some shit. And then
She stabs him with a
takes his-
knife.
hold on,
takes
there's
the
a line
sandwich.
that I love in this scene. What was it?
My heart
oh
rate
wait,
went
that's
down.
no, never mind. I'm thinking of the one where the reaching up your pussy line. That's
Oh,
not the
that's
scene.
not
Yeah.
the scene.
She takes a bite of the sandwich and she goes, "Oh, my heart rate went down. It does work," and then like just scampers off camera.
Well, she takes the sandwich.
Yeah, with
Yeah,
the sandwich,
yeah.
but like that doesn't make
She's-
sense.
Right.
None of the jokes are funny.
all the jokes are horrific. They're horrific.
Yeah.
If they're not offensive, they're fucking
Like I said-
abysmal.
Oh
So,
my God,
yeah.
yeah.
On a level that's like, I mean, it's baffling. You don't really know what to do with it. I don't even know if, like, I think John said he started to get mad, which
Yeah.
anyone should watching
I
this.
like.
Yeah. By the end of it, you should be furious that you sat through the whole thing.
that it exists. That's when we're introduced to the train station scene.
Yeah. So this, I think, then
That's
we
just
see,
which is a scene from
the
Blood
real
Rain
movie.
3.
Well,
we saw. We watched that one too. These two scenes, I think, probably held up better in terms of like explaining who they all were.
I hate that we have to
They were
explain
all like-
another movie.
Well, they were because like I was watching this and it was a
awesome.
lot more slick. It was the exposition was well written, and Blubberella was like, "I am this guy. You've already met these two," and the one guy was like,
right.
the gay stereotype guy.
Well, he shows
Yeah.
up after the fight, right?
Yeah,
They all show up after
Because
the
the shootout happens. Like,
Yeah, you
Oh,
see
shit.
a bunch of.
Oh,
because
God.
they instead
You
of
see
editing
the
her
train,
and fighting,
You see like a train, and then you see like
Which is filled
like,
with-
resistance people like lining up in the woods and shit and getting
right?
ready.
Yeah.
And then you get the
The
first
siege
scene with the
happens.
commandant. No,
Oh,
this
God.
commandant comes in and screams at that guy, and he goes, "Where's your second? Or who's the third?" It's like some
Marlon
terrible
Brando guy, right?
joke. Yeah,
That
that
was-
guy,
yeah.
the commandant. Fuck this guy.
He's
the worst,
and he's in a lot of movies. He's in a lot of
which
those
is
like
crazy because he's.
giant snake versus anaconda type movies. He's in a
Oh,
lot of
really?
those. Yeah,
Oh, he is in
yeah,
Giant Boa versus Mega Python.
right. That's what he's in. Right. So yeah,
Woof.
he orders them to do that, and then that's when like siege is laid upon this thing. But
Yeah.
it's supposed to be Blubberella doing it, right?
Well, no, it's them.
Is it or is the resistance
She's
doing
just
it?
helping.
She
She's
gets a- she
fucking
gets a
them
gun
up,
at one point
and
and
she
they're
shoots.
planning
They're-
to attack.
right.
the
I just want to
thing.
make sure that
They're
anyone
not
listening knows
together.
that you can't tell.
Yeah.
This you can't tell anything.
It's the bullets and stuff are coming from nowhere. They're just showing.
well, it's
up.
also cutting between actual footage of people dying, like B-roll of background people
From
getting
the
killed,
movie.
and Blubberella doing
Which
whatever
was-
the fuck she does.
and she's like in a corner over
Well,
there.
she shoots like 9 people with one bullet in that
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah.
Like everyone just falls over in the one shot.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
total
most
nonsense.
of those bad deaths were actually in the real movie too.
Like you could.
Well, that's
if
what
you
I'm
didn't
saying.
want to
They were
attack.
probably like that's like B-roll from them just being like, "All right, explode that guy."
No, I don't
with
think
a
it's
bunch
even
of
B-roll. I
scripts.
think that was
we
like
could,
I think that was
we
actually
could
footage.
seriously
Oh, yeah.
attack the humor all day, but the laziness of the filmmaking is so. It's the laziest movie he's ever
yeah.
made.
Oh yeah,
And that's
No.
you, Boll. I'm saying that about you, Boll. Uwe Boll, however you say his name. Dr. Uwe Boll. I'm going to tag you in this on Twitter, so get mad at me, please.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
you're
man.
insane.
We love you, but you're also a sick person who should have never made this movie.
Yeah, dude.
This is offensive and
Sick.
disgusting.
It's bad decisions.
yeah, you have the worst sense of humor I've ever seen. It's terrible.
I'm fixing your mic.
Ah!
There. So then Blubberella she walks up to the train, and that's when the resistance fighters walk. That's when
No. Commandant
main-
goes into
the main guy
no,
comes in,
No,
right?
the commandant like hides in a car,
Yes.
and he has a weird scene of him talking about how he doesn't like his gun, and he throws it on the ground for no reason.
And there's like the
And then Blubberella comes in and is like, "I'm gonna kill you, dude." But
well,
then
there's a
there's
puppy
another
sound when he throws the gun that makes a puppy
Oh, it makes
sound.
the
Yeah, it
puppy
makes the
sound,
dog
right?
noise.
Yeah, and then the other guys behind her.
Yeah, there's a
they
soldier
have a little
behind
like
her.
they have a little smart ass off for a second.
Then
Shoots
she
the
gets,
bullet.
Well, she gets the Matrix out, which
She-
doesn't
which is-
happen in the real movie.
It's just her
which is
picking up
interesting.
her like the
And she
side.
matrixes out from the behind. She doesn't see that she's being shot at.
No, as soon as he
She
finds
just
the
starts
bullet,
going.
She picks up the side of her
Yeah.
coat, her trench coat, and just like makes a cape just slowly with her arm and like goes backwards. And then that, like I don't even know. I don't know what that was. It was just like a white line, just like moved around. Did you see that? Like it like
oh yeah,
Yeah,
it went really
yeah.
slowly, and then it just sort of like hung out and wiggled around until it was time for him to get shot.
Well, no, that
While he
was
was, like-
implying that she can move
She's moving so fast. Yeah.
that when he fired the bullet, everything she did happened in the time that took for the bullet. To
Yeah, I'm
move.
also saying,
but she's doing it so slowly and awkwardly. It's
She was
like,
moving
ridiculous.
in flash time there.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But she doesn't
Dude.
do it
because
Ever
then the
again.
Ever
so,
again.
yeah.
but then the bullet hits the commandant. And then, okay, so you don't see this in Blubberella, but plot-wise, she bites the commandant, but
Yes.
doesn't kill him, apparently.
she bites his neck.
But she feeds off of him.
Yes.
Did that happen?
Yes. No, it
Okay.
happened in
Wait.
the scene, in the speed scene.
Oh God.
Did it? I think.
Yes,
I
she-
thought
no.
she just stabbed him and he fell over.
No, she bites
she
him.
bites him.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Then she comes out of the car and meets the resistance people.
And it's
which-
that. It's I forget his name. What is his name?
Vagisil?
No,
That's- yeah,
no,
that's-
the main guy, the one
Oh,
she's like
fuck,
in love
I don't
with.
know.
That is what they called him, though.
That
but-
was
And he was
va-
just
well,
like,
yeah,
it's
va-
just vag.
So there's the main
Oh,
dude
boy.
of the resistance. Then there's Vag, and Yeah, they the lower third says some slurs there. He's a stereotypical gay person
Yes.
from
Wait, did we-
Hollywood of old.
We forgot the part when it went to all black and said chapter 1, and there were whatever the fuck chapter 1 was called because it was like that
I don't
that
remember.
title
Well,
card happened earlier.
The
There's
title
a bunch
cards-
of title cards.
Well, the title
They're
cards
awful.
are the response to Inglourious Bastards. That's what I guess he thought this was.
Oh my god.
Because Glorious Bastards has those too, and there's the same font.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember that now, but like
That's the homage to Glorious.
the gauntlet.
Is he getting-
threw down?
Is he getting back? You said he was getting back at him.
No, it's just
Or-
his response to.
His response.
Like he
to
saw him. He said, "You making Glorious Bastards."
So I'm gonna make mine.
this."
Why wouldn't BloodRayne 3 be the response? Why would I'm gonna make my serious Auschwitz
That's what I'm
Nazi
saying.
movie?
What was he responding to?
Dude, we could never figure that out.
You're talking about a guy who beat up people.
Who like beat critics in a ring? You
God, that
can't.
was when
What do you mean? What set him off?
When you-
what did
when
he,
I-
what did
when
he
we
need to
learned that-
what
respond
didn't
to?
set him
I couldn't
off?
believe that shit. That was the most like the fact that he's like Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
No,
If
it's-
anyone listening doesn't know, U-Boll, there's documentaries on Prime, and it's well known that U-Boll invited critics of his movies to get in the ring with him and fight. I don't know what the end result
He
was
bloody.
supposed to be.
He
seen
bloody
some
all
of
over
them.
him.
Yeah.
Fucked some people up.
Oh yeah.
Some of them were like, there was a dude that was
He's built
sent
like a
there
brick
from,
shit
like,
house,
what
man.
Was it? There was a guy from Something Awful who was just sent there. Like he was like, this is, like the interview with him is hysterical because he's like laughing about it and
Oh
his
no.
fucking head knocked in, and he's like, this sucks. Like it's just like, it was great. I was like,
Dude.
oh.
It's like, then what happens? Does that prove about your movie?
Yeah, I mean now your movie's good, right? Because that guy's fucking nose is broken. So your movie's great. Such a, I mean,
It's ahead of his time.
So
He's a
that's-
man ahead of his time.
Oh
His
my god.
insanity.
all right. So they meet each other.
So
There's
they meet-
there's an overly gay character
Named
that
Badge.
is ridiculous the whole time.
And they lay down a bunch more fat jokes.
Then they're like, hey, we got to unload this truckload of there's a
Weapons.
million fat jokes. We got to unload this train full of weapons, and they open the door
And it's filled with
like
Holocaust
Holocaust
victims.
victims.
Yeah.
Like people being pulled out of a camper. Their
and it's them
houses and shit.
basically berating and disregarding the
Oh
victims.
yeah, there's the gay characters like spraying Lysol on them and being
'Cause they
like, "Ew,
stink.
this stinks," and like closing. They keep opening and then closing the
Yeah,
door
they do that
on
like
them.
2 or
Dude,
3
like, why
times.
isn't he in jail? Isn't it like, isn't it some kind of a crime to do
It
that
should
in
be
Germany
like,
or
yeah,
something?
Just like a world crime. That's like a world crime.
But I mean, no,
A
I'm
crime
pretty
against
sure
the world.
Germany has laws against
Oh, yeah.
Nazism and stuff. Like this movie borders on some stuff.
Ace Ventura on the Porsche, but with a bunch of people on a fucking train going,
Yeah, right.
going to die.
Well, it was filmed in Croatia, so
They were safe.
safe as you can
Whoa.
be.
How does that
man.
end? It just ends with them closing the door back
Yeah,
on
see
the
it-
people. They don't
and
let them
like-
free.
Oh, and they don't free them. Yeah, they
So-
lock the door on
And
them.
that-
Blubberella is not a good thing. She's bad, right?
She's ignoring this.
She
It's
doesn't
the
care.
revolution.
She's
people
already
are
off
doing.
camera. She's been well
Dude,
off camera.
this
for a
movie
while.
is not a plot. There's not a
I know
plot.
there's
to
not a
this
plot, but the
movie.
next here, okay, the
So
next
they leave all
scene.
those people in the train.
The next scene is her and the 2 resistance guys and the resistance walking in a wide shot
Oh my fucking god!
through the woods.
Oh,
Yeah.
in
and
a
it's
single,
really
in
weird
a
too.
Single
Before
file
we
line.
get to the thing we're going to talk about, she like looks like she can barely move. The Blubberella,
Yeah.
like they either had her in bad shoes walking on top of snow.
No, the path. It was like
It's
it was
tiny
like
path.
a foot and
I
a
felt
half
so
of
bad
snow.
for her, man.
It was like knee deep snow, but the path they were walking in was like super
And
thin.
yeah, I think she
but
was
she can
in-
barely move.
Yeah,
I think
all
she
of them
was
were
in,
like
in,
very.
in like heels that couldn't work in snow.
Right, that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
I think she was wearing.
She's
high
trying to
heels
do this
or,
dialogue
like, boots.
scene, and like she's like tiptoeing so softly.
She was
It's-
wearing a corset the whole movie too, I think.
yeah, well, I feel
And
bad
yeah,
for her.
everybody's in a single file line, and this is the first place we see the fish.
Yes.
There's a person like
There's
You heard
five,
right.
Jesus Christ.
5 to 7 people back from the front of the line. There's
No, he's
just-
right behind Vag. The
Oh, that's
fish
right.
is
No,
right behind
that's
Vag.
Well, he's
right.
like 4 or 5 in the back.
Yeah.
It's got
yeah.
it. It's Okay.
But he's right behind Vag. It's just-
Okay.
I don't know. It's great.
It's a man in an extremely fake fish Halloween costume.
yes,
It
and
looks-
he's like waddling in
Now,
the line.
Looks like a shiny sack with big googly eyes and two like swishy arms of fabric. There's a sleeve and a swishy arm of fabric coming off of it underneath, and it's walking along through all this shitty dialogue.
But they don't acknowledge it.
they don't
nobody
talk
talks
about
It's
about
it.
the fish,
happening.
and then the fish just falls over.
It
And
tips
and
over.
it's flopping.
But it cuts in on that, which is so great.
Yes.
It's like, oh, it wasn't an accident.
We
Right?
intended this fish thing to happen.
U-Boll wrote, the fish falls over. Cut to, zoom in
I don't
on
think Penn was.
tipped
I don't
fish.
I don't
Penn
think
was
he
ever
wrote
put the
anything,
paper
dude. I
for
think
this.
somebody just fell over.
Yeah.
a fish
No, but it zooms in. It's already
Okay.
It's like a set zoom shot already
Yeah.
of it when he falls, and
He
it's
probably called it. Oh, for sure.
or maybe he was like, just knock over the fish.
Now,
Lift over the fish.
now you know, I want to read this bit of trivia,
Oh God.
Oh,
Is
which
this
is
the one-
fucking incredible.
All right.
Because the
Blow my
first sentence
mind.
is incredible. It's it's
Blow
so
my mind.
it's not it's feasible because of who he is. It says though Matthew Lillard played the role, the fish costume was fitted for U-Boll, who wanted to keep it afterwards, claiming it would reduce production costs.
The fuck
No,
out
Since
of
my
here.
production
God.
was wrapped, however, the fish costume has gone amiss.
Matthew
Hugh Lillard
Lillard
was in that costume.
Oh my God! That is amazing! Wow! What?
Holy shit!
What
I'm
the
gonna,
fuck?
Look, these might
And
be
but-
fake. I don't know.
That has to be
Matthew
added-
Lillard was in the fish costume and potentially stole it
from you,
from
Boll.
No way. That has to
Dude,
be.
it says it-
But it's on IMDb.
It's on
not
IMDb,
Wikipedia.
and it says it right here. It says, though Matthew Lillard played the role, the fish costume was fitted for U-Boll. Juve Boll.
that's
That is it.
madness.
You gotta understand, people. Matthew Lillard's not in this movie.
No, he's
His
not.
face.
He wasn't in. He wasn't
How
in Blood.
insulting.
I don't know. That's kind of genius.
is kind
It's
of
like hiring
amazing.
Jack Nicholson to play like
Yeah.
a person that you don't see. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Or it has no lines
Or just a
anything.
voice or something.
Yeah.
Didn't have to give him a credit.
Oh, he played that tree. Did you notice that there was a fake tree? in
Did
one
we
of
even
his-
look at the
What?
credits?
No. I'm joking. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I would believe it. I would believe it. But I would be surprised.
No,
if he
yeah,
missed
we'd
it.
have to say, yeah, wasn't Sergeant Fish in the credits? Well, he's sitting right here. Sergeant Fish,
Sergeant Fish, tell us.
answer us. Are you Matthew Lillard?
He's falling on the
You just
floor.
felt we didn't look. I didn't look, but oh my god! I mean,
What?
no, I'm just saying. Like, could that really be true?
I got him.
I
Why
don't-
would Matthew Lillard do that?
That's
Okay,
really
If
weird.
he's friends
man.
with him, he was in because he was in that other movie. Which one?
no, he's in Return of the King.
Oh, he was?
Not Return of the
yeah.
God. Dungeon
Name of the
Siege.
King.
In the Name of
Dungeons-
the King.
Name of the King.
Which we've done on bonus disc. So look that up.
Maybe
Big-
that's why. I don't know, dude.
What
That's fucking hysterical.
So
He's
what the
not
fuck-
listed on IMDb in the credits.
Okay, yeah.
So they walk through the woods in a single file line. The fish falls down.
There's
They-
dialogue here, but I don't
Who
think it
gives a
matters.
flying
No,
fuck
Oh,
about
that's
it?
this is the part where the guy acknowledges that he
Just-
has glandular trouble, like out of nowhere.
Then they
He's
make
speaking
fun of
about
her for
limits-
having it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just fat jokes. They're
No,
just-
but no, he's making fun of himself for not being able to get a hard on.
oh.
The other main character, like just out of the blue with it. Like that's
the
the
main
first one.
resistance guy.
Yes.
That's the first of them.
He has like
where
erectile
it's- yeah,
dysfunction jokes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
where it's just a bunch of like, yeah, just like awkward jokes.
Is this
Not even jokes.
is this when we
That
go
is-
to the soup making
Yes.
scene in the resistance base, which I
That-
guess is the resistance base?
Yeah, the leader of the resistance is like making soup. And then she's like, "This is some bullshit," and he's like, "These are the tools I have to work with." And then she like opens her coat
Well, one side
and
of her
has
coat.
like a whole bunch of
Cooking
like,
utensils?
cooking utensils.
Yeah.
And
She's
he's
like, "I'm
"Oh,
impressed."
shit.
Uh,
And
But
then
he's like, but I don't have something.
No,
he's
yeah,
like, we still only have this stuff to work
and
with.
then she pulls out a big loaf of bread.
from her other.
and a can of like.
She never
something.
pulls that out. It's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
sitting in her coat. Like, but
But
opens
the
other
when
side
she
of
can
pulls
of
the
something.
baguette out, it makes that sound like the slide whistle, like. whoop.
and then she just sticks it in the pot of food and stirs.
But I love this
And-
scene because it's Vag. He's like in the back of the room in the frame. Like they don't cut. Like
Yeah,
of
yeah.
all the scenes
Yes.
not to cut, it's them and him just insulting what they're doing the whole time.
And calling her fat, like
Yeah.
just calling her
It's
fat.
them
This
being
is the scene that has
sassy.
the line where he's like, "I would."
Is it?
I think so.
I would reach up. No, I remember them
Alright.
being in a different setting when he
Alright,
says that.
fine. Damn it.
God.
There's a lot of hand slapping. I remember at the table. Whatever. Fuck. Like they did the bread, more bread in the fucking soup. So they call her fat. Who the
Well,
fuck
they
cares?
sit down and they dip the bread in the soup.
There's no.
I don't know what to say. I don't remember.
And they just talk shit on each
I
other.
know there's like no actual plot development. So when you describe the scene, you're like, so she like complains about the food, and then they're all just like dipping bread in the soup on the table while they make fat jokes. Like
Yeah.
that is the whole scene.
It's the scene.
It's amazing.
What's the next scene? What's the next scene?
Well, then I think we go to the doctor, right?
Oh Christ!
Yes.
which is-
Now we cut to the lieutenant getting out of a car. He's like
Right.
this new character. He like shows
Oh,
up.
wait,
He gets
wait,
out of a
wait,
car.
wait,
he
wait, wait.
walks.
The scene of the guy standing in the train tracks for no fucking reason.
That's him. That's it. That's what happens right
Oh
now.
my!
That's the
it's
lieutenant.
God, you're right.
That's the lieutenant.
Another scene where we
I'm
could
sorry.
not possibly tell you
Okay,
what's
so
happening.
what? This scene opens with a man standing
We
like,
only see him from like the waist,
waist up. He's like the train. What do you call it? Like the
It's like the
The
ditch
platform. He's
platform,
He's like
yeah.
standing behind the platform between the train and the platform.
tracks.
And,
between the train and the
Yeah,
track,
yeah.
apparently he's stuck. We have no.
He doesn't say stuff.
He also comes up from nowhere. Like you don't see him, and then he appears, and he's just going like, "Well,
And you
this is a bummer."
it gets the scene freeze. It turns black and has the white text that says like whatever his name is, and it says the Colonel's bitch boy.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then,
Colonel's bitch boy.
Or the
he
commandant's
comment on, and then he immediately says like, "Well, I've really got myself into a predicament this time," or something, and we're like,
And he's just standing
Who,
there.
what?
no way of knowing what that is because it's never
God.
addressed.
I just
Sounds
love how
amazing.
nonchalantly it cuts to it happening, and then it's like, well, here it is again.
Hmm.
And then he talks
All
like,
three of us were like, is he stuck? We didn't even.
and then he's asking the guy on the platform,
He's just
"Did you hear me? Are you
standing
paying
there.
attention?" And the other guy's like, "No." It's just like
Oh.
that's like that's. Oh God, I remember thinking at that point like I think all these jokes are gonna be like that. Like there's just like I'm gonna set you up for this, and you're gonna like, "No, I'm not."
No.
Funny face, you know. That's
It's awful.
now. So that happens, and then I think we get to the doctor.
Yeah, then it shows
Or then you
Clinton
part-
Howard.
Yeah. Oh, God.
As sort of like a Dr. Mangala for vampires.
Yeah.
He's tearing apart a vampire.
There's a
who's
vampire at
living-
the table. And he's like,
And that
digging
vampire
into
looked
it.
badass. That was a really good looking.
It was a pretty cool looking
It's like-
vampire.
yeah, 'cause it has
makeup
fun.
job and like the and like it was
Because that
pretty
was probably
gory.
from Blood Rain 3.
Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah.
it was like that's the other- like there was no color correction on it. Everything was like so yellow or like.
Oh yeah, they
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
color
Like,
correct it. They
yeah.
did like
No.
it's almost like he had to be like, all right, now we're doing the funny stuff.
Light it harsh.
Real sound people leave like like you know because everything was super boomy sounding. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you could
yeah.
hear the reverb in all the
Like a
rooms.
sitcom.
Yeah,
Well,
or like
well, just,
or just
worse
like a whole
than that,
movie.
even worse than that.
But
Yeah,
the
like a whole
lighting,
movie.
But even the lighting was bright
oh, the,
and everything.
yeah,
it
the
was just
lighting was super
overhead
bright.
lighting
Yep.
and stuff.
And this
so.
I remember the scene being so yellow, and the blood was like looked like chocolate syrup.
Yep.
You
Yeah.
know?
And he's
just like
the guy's like, what? He's like, he's saying how he's trying to see what their limits are.
Well, he shows up and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
because they think the commandant's dead and now he's in charge. So he's like checking in on what goes on, and he's like, "What the fuck is this?" Well, in the real movie, he's going there to be like, "What the fuck is this?"
I'm
but in
sure.
this movie, he's just like, "Whatever, I'm in this room with
Hey,
this guy
and he says
poking
something
at
about-
zombies."
And then Clint Howard's like, I'm just fucking with him to see what his limits are, so,
Yeah.
so he can die. Because then he says he has an idea.
Well, I think
Remember?
before
yeah,
that,
he
he's
goes,
like,
"We're gonna try to figure out how to
Make Hitler
yeah,
immortal.
Make Hitler immortal."
but when they
with
before,
these things because they regenerate,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, that sounds awful." Right? Does he say that? He goes, "Hitler." He's like, "We're gonna make Hitler
He
immortal."
goes-
He's like, "Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
terrible."
He's like,
yeah,
what?
but when
Yeah.
when addressing what it is, he's like, "What is it?" And he goes, "Well, what do you?" Clint Howard says, "What do you think it is?" Like, just does not feel
Also-
like this is all. If these are all improv, just doesn't feel it at all. Just like,
Yeah.
no, I don't know. You tell me what it is. I'm not gonna say
I
vampire.
guess but like it's
also-
not yes anding.
And
You're
then-
like
Isn't
you're
this
like
the thing? Because isn't this where it's established that he looks like Elvis?
Elvis. Yes, that's exactly what I was going to get
no,
to.
no.
I think he looks.
No, it is. He walks in and he says like, hey,
What is that? He's like, well, what do you think it is? And I think it looks like Elvis. Like it's. I
Then he
think
goes, I think it looks like a bad Elvis impersonator.
That's-
and you're
yeah.
like, what the fuck
That's what
is
it is.
happening?
That's
and
what
then
it is.
later in the conversation, he goes, "I'm not gonna." He's like, "He's like, I
I
don't
can
want."
see you're
different
listening.
scene
cut off by
outside
Elvis.
in the hallway. He like storms out and the doctor follows him.
That's right. Yeah,
And then he says like, I'm not like poking around with this Elvis impersonator.
I think he says he's like,
That's
"You're
like
not
the
gonna
one
turn
good joke
me."
we laughed at actually.
Because he says,
That was a
I think the
callback.
guy's
Yeah.
like, we're going to turn
Callback.
all of us into, we can all become vampires. And he's like, I'm not going to ever be an Elvis impersonator.
That's-
or some
that's
shit
a-
like
yeah.
that. And you're like, what the fuck?
That was kind of funny.
Also
Yeah,
through this
yeah.
through the scene when they're talking and the vampire's on the table, he's just like casually digging into him every now and then. The vampire is rolling with it like just like throwing his head back and
Moving, but
screaming.
not
at-
making a
oh,
singing noise.
no,
He was
not making any
not
noise.
making any
just
noise
wiggling
at
around on
all.
the table.
And then what was the impetus for leaving? They left, and he's like, "We're gonna go on a trip." And then Clint Howard is like, he gets his golf bag.
And he
No,
goes,
no, no. Okay,
yeah,
that's
and
what
yells
it is.
for.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Oh God.
He goes, "You're coming with me. You got to pack your bags in 20 minutes." And he goes, 20 minutes, my goodness. And then he
Something about
gets his
Disney
golf
World.
bag.
20
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh yeah, right. He says we're going to Disney World.
But what he is going, he takes him. Christ. Then they go to that like bigger building. This is one of the weirdest scenes because they give you so little in this. Plot wise, it's unreal. But what happens? All right, I'm just gonna describe what happens plot wise,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
we'll describe what they talk about. I guess.
Yeah.
Is that how we
You're
should do this?
basically describing BloodRayne 3, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna say what Blubberella
The
is.
Commandant is alive and has become a vampire, but
Yeah.
they don't know what's going on, and he's like in this room. And Clint Howard walks out and goes, "Oh, he's definitely a vampire. You should probably just chop his fucking head off." Or
That's in the real movie.
no, in this
That's
he
what
goes,
happens in Blubberella.
in
Yeah.
Blubberella, he walks out
Yeah.
and he's like, "Oh, you should probably cut." It's just really hard to figure out because you don't know what the hell's happening.
Yeah.
But it's the Commandant.
I remember
has
that. Yeah.
Survived the attack at the train station, and they have him at this building.
He's got like one strip of cloth around him, and he like
We're not there yet because this
Yeah,
is
we're not
just
there
Clint
yet.
like recommending recommending they kill him.
okay.
it's
because
in like
he's all
that.
fucked
It's like
up.
in an office with a desk,
Yes.
right?
Well, they're in a hallway. They're in a big
Oh, right. They're in the
Like-
hall. Jesus.
decorative hallway. It's a very big.
And where
hallway.
and the other guy.
Oh
The com-
God.
It's the lieutenant and Clint
Can we just
Howard
pull it off my
talking-
phone
No,
so we can just
it's
like
lieutenant and Clint Howard talking to each other about how he's become a vampire, and
Yes.
and they're trying to figure out what to do about it.
And he's in that room. Wasn't that like weren't they right outside the room? Don't they go into the room right after this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. They have
Because they
that,
go to talk to the commandant.
Oh, you're right.
and then they open the door and he like
and he attacks him. Slaps
are you
him a whole
doing?
bunch of times.
yeah, what did he say?
He slaps him like a shitload
Yeah,
of times.
his running gag
Is
is
that-
he slaps people.
like a whole
Eins-
like too many
Eins,
times.
zwei, eins, zwei.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
one,
that,
two,
that
one,
happens
two.
like 4 times in the movie. Him
He
slapping
slaps him
people.
a whole bunch, and they're like, "Chill the fuck out, dude." I mean, Christ.
All right.
So much of this movie is indescribable because it's people saying dad jokes at each other that none of them
Hold on.
land.
Improv dad jokes.
Improvised dad jokes.
It's not like they were written. So
I-
No, yeah.
it's just the scenes are
God,
just
they're brutal.
improvised by people who weren't prepared to do it.
So this is a dark room with a bunch of people making probably dick jokes or something.
Or vampire jokes.
Or vampire
But this,
whatever,
this
whatever.
and I think this leads into the next scene that you were talking about earlier, or you were talking about earlier. They go into his office, and there's the light shining in on the table, but the rest of the room is dark, and he goes like, "Oh look, I've just discovered." He like holds his hand up, and this is where you said,
Because they call her the fat walker in the scene.
"Yeah,
Yes. they
She's
call
the
her
fat
fat
walker.
walker."
Isn't that in the part 2 where Clint Howard's like, you mean like Blade or Blade 2 or
Oh yeah, he just lists off like all those fucking vampire movies.
Shadow of the Vampire? Yeah, he just says things right.
And then
They go to the length to establish that he is now a vampire that can walk in the sun.
yeah, a day like because she's
God
a day,
forbid
she's
it
a
goes
day
against
walker
his
in
own rules.
BloodRayne. They call her
Yeah.
the Fat Walker in this movie. And then he's like
Oh
gonna
my
discover
God.
instead of discovering he can walk in the daylight, he holds his hand up to the window and then's like, I can make a bunny rabbit, and he does a little shadow puppet of the bunny rabbit. Which that's when you were like, this is if you have no context of the movie, you're not gonna understand this at
Yeah,
all.
he just
like,
makes a
doesn't
bunny
say
rabbit
the thing
and
that
then-
it's showing.
and they
And
just
then
laugh like
he
children.
goes neat and walks out of the room. It is. It's like that shit. It's like a fun run because you're just like,
It's a fun
I
run.
should have
Like,
explained that I just realized all this, but instead I'm going to go,
It
oh,
makes you
neat.
question why, like, if he didn't just leave the bad guy scenes then as they were in BloodRayne.
Hey, guess what, guys? We're doing this out of order, but it doesn't matter. I don't think that's what happens here, but can we just...
Well, the next thing that happens is
The
Precious.
greatest part of the movie. Yeah, okay.
It is not the great... Dude.
It is. This is the greatest part of the movie.
This movie came out in 2011. Look
This-
at Jono, man.
Dude, this part...
This is when I should have just turned it off for Jono's sake. I
No,
apologize,
absolutely
man.
not. So
oh
I
my
think
God.
I
I love this.
the
part
credits
of the
said
movie.
It's
2000
sadly relevant because we live in a hellscape now, but
the credits said 2010. Did BloodRayne 3 come out in 2010? And then
Yeah.
this and
this
then
came
they
out
released.
a year later.
So
yeah.
they must have filmed a bunch of this stuff well after the fact as well. Like not,
Yeah, they had
so
to.
all that stuff.
That's
in the
why
house.
there's 2 dream sequences.
So oh my god. So this is they
So-
redo Precious, and she's
Well, we
at-
cut to
Well,
her in her
it cut-
bed.
yeah. Well, no. It cuts to.
Oh, it cuts to her in the bed after they were in the. This is after they were in the cabin. They were in like the hideout of the rebels, and now all of a sudden she's back in her like weird.
Yeah, she's just back in her
weird.
apartment.
And Clarissa explains
Remember,
it
'cause
all
she
like
falls-
German
Well,
apartment.
the whole prostitute thing happens where she rips that guy's, crushes that
That
guy's
happens
balls.
right
No,
after
that,
this.
That happens after this.
This happened
this.
first.
Yes, yeah.
Precious. It just cuts to her in her
No,
bed.
the precious
It
thing
was
is
the
by
star-
itself.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
It cuts to
okay.
her in her bed, and it star wipes into a dream
Mm-hmm.
of her cooking food for the mom from Precious.
It's like steak in like
Remember?
bread, butter, and like.
But the
Yeah.
problem is it's a white guy in blackface who looks like he's wearing pillows on his body. It looks so
this
dumb.
is so
And if-
ignorant. I can't help
he was
but think
in
it's
blackface
hysterical.
and black like
the
black
ignorant
arms.
is yeah.
It's beyond. It's like off the charts.
This is where my jaw
So
my jaw
good.
dropped like and just kind of stayed over.
You were
the rest of the
silent
movie. I
for
could.
this whole
I was
time.
flabbergasted, man. I can't like.
You think you a grown ass damn fear,
Oh.
bitch?
Oh my god.
You know what's crazy
I-
is
the
he said
first
it's not
time-
the only blackface in the movie.
That was
No.
the fucking. Oh my
This is
god.
the first black
Twice. It happened twice.
Twice. Why? Why would you even think that a movie like this would need a Precious parody, let alone blackface?
How is
Why the fuck would you ever think of parroting Precious is a good idea?
Such a bad
Jesus
idea. Yeah.
Christ!
Why does this guy still make movies? How does this guy
He
still make
doesn't.
movies?
He doesn't.
He lives
He
on
hasn't.
YouTube now and he just yells at people on
Yeah,
Twitter.
really?
Yeah.
Mhm.
What was his last movie?
Oh, I don't.
Rampage 2 or something.
Rampage 2. Because
Did he throw a shit fit
Yeah.
about Rampage coming out?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He basically said "fuck you" to the world over that because Rampage 3 was an important movie.
Man, all right. So they reenact the
See, they
entirety of the
It's so
frying pan
long.
scene.
It's like 5 minutes of a man in blackface yelling at a fat woman how disgusting she is.
And
you
then they
think
and
you
then
a
chase
grown ass damn fear because you let a werewolf roll up in your coochie pie?
Oh my god!
Well, and then they run over to.
It's enough to make you want
Just
to
because
commit
you had a
suicide,
baby
dude.
don't
It's
make
terrible.
you no grown ass damn fear. You just a dumb damn fear bitch.
I almost can't believe
Dude,
it's on
I-
Amazon Prime.
I
almost
love
can't believe
this.
it's streaming on Amazon
I
Prime.
absolutely can't believe it's streaming. I don't like. I just don't think anybody's ever bothered to watch that thing
No.
all the way through.
There's no way.
Like, so,
Well, that's why. Oh, when we started this, the subtitles were like so off.
Yeah.
It was like someone just typed them in and was like, "I'm not watching this movie."
No, they just typed the text. They didn't
They
care
were,
if it was
oh,
synced at
I'm
all.
just typing the script.
It's about a
in.
minute and a half off. It's like
It's
nuts.
insane. It got crazy. It was awesome.
Anyway, that's her dream. It's
She
her,
eventually the
they go
end
into,
of this.
They go into her
the
room.
end of that. Oh my
God.
god. They do the whole scene happens. She's throwing shit at her. She throws the frying pan at her.
they run into
But
the
she
bedroom.
misses and she pulls out her swords and she goes, "I'm the damn fear, mama. I'm a superhero. What do you think about that?" And then the mom goes, "Respect,"
And
and,
puts her
like
fist
puts her
up.
fist up, and then the scene ends.
Oh,
my god.
And
God, this is
and
when
there's no
It
explanation.
star wipes back into fucking her in bed.
When was this? Which scene was the spiral wipe? There was one straight up spiral wipe at one point.
Oh,
Yeah,
it happens
there's
at
lots,
random
who knows?
between
Oh,
cut.
God.
It didn't matter.
But I think this is her waking up to screaming sounds.
Right, because we didn't know this, but she
But
lives
she's
in a
living
brothel,
in a brothel.
which is not established in the
Mm.
beginning. It's just
At all.
And there's like
No.
a woman screaming, and she bursts into a room, and it's a guy about to hit her, and she's like, "You gotta stop that shit." And the guy's like, "No," and then she's like, "I'm the damn fear, motherfucker," and he's like, "I don't care." It's nothing.
And it's awful because
Maybe-
it also shows a woman that's battered.
Oh,
Badly.
Like, dude,
Well, she-
in a fucking comedy movie, you're showing a bloodied woman.
her face is fucked up. And
Yeah.
this guy, she
God.
like crushes his dick and balls.
Yeah.
And then she goes over to the woman and is like, "Honey, you should be a stripper.
You should-
and
no, you
get
shouldn't be.
yourself."
You
Yeah, you
shouldn't
shouldn't be a prostitute. You should be a stripper. That way you can get a sugar daddy, and then you won't get beaten every day. Okay, honey? And the woman's like, "Oh." You're like,
Is
saying it's
Blubberella
just-
a villain? Like,
No, it's just straight,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's
what
just
are we
that
supposed
straight
to
dumbass
think?
like
what
chick-
if... sh-
extreme humor, you know? It's like South Parky.
but
No,
like...
not even South, because South Park is smart about it, but just that again, like just punching down, just straight.
It's just straight punching
just
down.
straight punching down. The
It's
whole
funny.
fucking movie.
It's funny because you're just punching down. It's not trying to, make a statement or anything.
no, it's like yeah, this. He makes movies about video games, right? They're all terrible. Like this is like the movie of like what kids yell into fucking headsets.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. No, it is. You're right.
Yeah, it's like a game's playing itself while you're talking to your
Yeah.
friends in voice chat about
Wouldn't it be
dicks
cool if she was
and
really
stuff.
fat and like she was a vampire still? Somebody
Ooh.
describing a movie with his friends.
Ham beasts.
Oh God. So then,
Oh, I don't wanna,
isn't this when she gets
Whatever.
she saves that woman and then she gets the massage from the other women in the brothel for
Yes.
free?
The other
Which
women
I
are
at that
like-
point I said to you guys, like, I don't know why this. I can't understand the reasoning that they're using rolling pins.
they
I
shove
think
it up
the
her
jo-
ass.
They
I
shove it up her
figured.
ass and stuff to make her feel good,
Yeah,
and she likes it.
she loves it.
which is whatever.
Wake up!
And then she's
Yeah, I'm
using
dying
she's
inside.
using rolling pins.
This movie is killing me.
the
trying to
joke
recall
is
it.
that she's using the rolling pins instead of her swords. I think that's it. It's
Yeah.
Just,
Well, then she has to fight because
with the rolling pins.
who comes in?
I don't
It's
fucking care.
somebody
there's
breaks
a bunch
in.
of-
Don't they?
Some vampire Nazis, I guess. I don't remember. I really
Who
don't.
does she fight?
God.
No, everything there's gravy because that's when
I'm
the
kinda
one of
glad I
the
don't remember.
prostitutes goes to see the commandant because to tell him that she's a vampire, that the Damphier's at the brothel.
Oh, right.
But again, none of that is really said in the scene.
It's not,
like this
no.
woman who goes to see the commandant and he makes a bunch of vampire jokes, talks in the worst German accent you've ever fucking
Oh,
heard.
it's awful.
Uh,
Which is funny because he would be doing it in a serious movie too, and the accent's that bad.
was it that accent? I feel like
yeah, it probably
and
was.
oh god, and fucking
It's the Marlon Brando guy, but he's not
Yeah.
Marlon Brando yet.
and the other guys.
this guy has like a natural speaking voice of like a thick Brooklyn accent. Is what it
Yes.
sounded like.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
and he thought he was doing a German accent. It was really weird.
Clint Howard.
Yeah, Clint
And
Howard.
Clint
yeah.
Howard, his fucking voice. Like
Oh my
I
god. He
I
was
thought
just doing
it
I'm
was-
a spooky scientist.
I thought yeah, but
Of
I thought it
indeterminate
was
origin.
it was kind of like this the entire time.
Little Claude
Yes.
Rains
Yes.
type of thing.
And I would come to these conclusions, and but like we're watching the movie, like he's doing these scenes, and I thought he was putting that voice on, but then like again, I don't remember what the hell what point comes in the middle of the movie. There is an actual scene from Blood Rain 3 that he
Yeah.
changed the soundtrack to something ridiculous.
He even says,
But-
at the beginning of the scene, Boll himself
Cuts
narrates
in
it.
and goes, "This is really
This-
boring."
This
next
scene
scene
is
is really boring.
So I put in some really cool music under it, and then you watch a scene from his real movie. Like,
Where Clint Howard
dude, that is mind-boggling. He just cut into his weird shit. This is almost not even a film movie, and said, "Oh, this is boring,"
in the real one.
and it's the real movie.
Here's a scene from the movie. This movie you're watching is parenting, and it's super boring, but it's in the movie you're watching. And now I'm gonna change the music, and I'm admitting it.
Ugh.
Try to wrap your head around that.
Unreal.
This is where that's where I started to get angry. But then Clint Howard he's talking in that voice, and that's what I was like.
Well,
wait.
that's a real scene,
And
though.
that's what I'm saying. I was
Yeah.
like, that's his actual voice for this movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
was it just?
yeah.
Oh god, it's
Well, Boll's also not
they're
very
such a bunch
good.
of Muppets
He's not very good as a-
directing.
yeah,
Yeah,
Well-
he's not gonna care if you change your voice.
yeah,
at
he's
all.
not. I keep saying you. His name is Uwe.
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 No, I just mean that the fact that the voice that I heard first, which was the parody version.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I thought he was doing a parody voice as well.
No, that's the voice
That
from Blood
was-
Rain 3.
It was. He sounds like a fucking
I
Muppet.
love that it's also a parody of the third.
The third Blood
Rain.
Rain?
I think Kevin, like that's just it's too much.
I didn't know there was one,
It's
let alone
bulletproof.
3.
We saw the first one in theaters.
You love him. I mean, were the other 2 in theaters?
No.
I feel like there's a point. All right, the woman comes and tells the commandant that she's at the brothel.
Isn't there like a resistance scene?
Oh
my God. It's been an hour. The alarm just went off. We have got to get through this. Oh, God. Well, this is so hard, man.
There's no plot to stick to. Okay,
There is nothing.
There's a discussion of getting the damn fear's blood to give to
Hitler to keep him alive.
which
forever.
then I feel like is when we cut to the scene that makes absolutely no sense, which is Uwe Boll himself playing Hitler.
Yes, and they go on a date together.
Goes
Now,
out and
this just-
hangs out with Blubberella.
in her
date-
apartment. In her
the
apartment.
date is in the apartment all
Yes.
day long, and it's just there.
Well, hold on. Now, he shows up to her apartment with the leader of the resistance actor who is in blackface
for no reason. Oh,
And I'm
my
almost
God.
100% positive with the timing of this. It's supposed to be a joke, a Tropic Thunder joke, like Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder.
Oh my god.
I think, because why
I
else?
guess.
What else?
Oh.
He doesn't even have a purpose in the scene.
I don't know what else it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a parody of something because the lieutenant shows up and
Well,
he
he's-
has an eye patch.
well, 'cause he's
for
talking
no
So
like-
reason.
what you know about getting shot
he's
80
talk-
times? What you know
dude,
about getting shot 80 times?
The reason I say
Oh
that
my
is because he's
God.
talking like 70s, like he's talking like a 70s like action
Black
hero,
stereotype?
black stereotype.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
mean,
saying it's probably a Tropic Thunder thing.
Maybe I think you're giving him. I think you're giving the movie a little bit too much credit.
Dude, I'm just
I think
saying the
it should-
timing seems like that's what you Boll was thinking. Either way, it's
yeah.
I don't want to. I don't
It's-
want to begin to presume what that guy's fucking thinking. That movie was out of control, man.
well in this scene,
Second blackface scene.
it's the second blackface scene, and
God.
Uwe Boll himself playing
Fucking
Adolf
Hitler.
Hitler, and it's Blubberella trying to basically tell him he's got to be cooler about everything and try to lay off the whole genocide thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
And saying you're actually cramping my dating style because I'm trying to date Jewish men.
Yep.
That's the
That's
crux of this
scene.
movie,
Yep.
pretty much, is like she's against the Third Reich because she wants to date Jewish men.
Is this before? Or
I
after-
said that out loud. It's a thing that I just said. That's a movie that exists.
My heart is barely beating anymore. This movie
Was
is
that
killing
before or
me.
after the scene where they get to the Commodore Vampire guy? They get him cornered, and they like have an intervention instead of a fight scene. Like there's supposed to be a fight scene, and they just read off their intervention letters.
That hasn't happened.
That
yet.
hasn't happened
Oh
yet.
god.
Because there's some point. I think
I
when
just
the
remember-
brothel woman goes to
Oh.
the place, there's something where like the Resistance and Blubberella go to where the commandant is and see him.
My fucking head hurts.
Yeah. There's something where like Blubberella, they get into like a factory. That's what they go to a factory.
Yes. For okay.
No.
No.
No. They go somewhere and they see that the commandant is alive and a vampire, and she does.
Yeah, and they
because
say,
she
they
comes
say
back
it.
to the Resistance and she's like,
He's alive. and a
so
vampire.
she's like, so what'd you learn? And she's like, oh well, I turned the commandant into a vampire. That's what I did today. And
Oh
they're like,
god, yeah.
you stupid fat bitch. And then she's like, oh, but we'll figure it out. Like the movie, the dialogue, man.
She says something like, I'm always messy about what I eat or something. It was some kind of comment from turning him in. It doesn't matter.
yeah, it was awful.
But anyway, Hitler in her apartment with a guy in blackface. They look at the dating site. They have like a cheery montage where they're like becoming friends. Then they cut to her bedroom where the blackface guy, and Hitler are playing
Risk.
Oh my god.
in a montage, sort of.
And I think one more person. I think there's. Is there? A
No,
fourth?
it's just the three of them. At
Okay.
this point.
Is it?
Yeah. it's just the three of them because then Hitler Blubberella almost wins and Hitler like throws the board everywhere. That's when it's them in the kitchen like eating pie or whatever, and she's like, "You really gotta like."
Oh, that's when she's stirring that mayonnaise.
Oh yeah, what was that?
There's a big fucking vat of mayonnaise.
They're like fudge or something together. Yeah.
in
just-
the freezer area.
But it
they were,
cuts
like,
away.
stirring something.
It's like not even. What is that?
they're doing it under all like the hanging meats
hanging
in the freezer.
making mayonnaise in the meat closet.
But then we find out that was a dream.
do we?
Yes. No, that's a dream.
Okay.
She wakes up from like it's another Star
That's right,
Wipe.
because that's when I started screaming. Like, how much of this was a dream?
Oh, yeah.
How far back
It's
does that
like a
dream
Star
go? When
Wipe.
does that dream start?
like you said, he filmed the Precious Thing and this Hitler Dream after
Totally
the fact.
separate.
Because it's just
Where
in
are
one
we?
room.
Where are we? She
dude.
wakes up from the dream for what reason? To do what?
I don't even remember. Yeah, then what the hell happens?
What even set are
There's
we
the
on?
whole scene where like the three of them are like they meet back up at the Resistance place, and the two
And
of them
everybody's
almost have
dead.
sex. Remember that? They're like not in the van sex, like they're kissing in like in the Resistance place. He's like standing up against her body.
Oh,
Like,
he gets like tall.
Yeah, he gets the stool to put
stand-
on it, so he's higher.
I don't
than
remember
her.
what the scene was about. I just remember them almost having sex. And he's like,
I
I'm gonna
think-
come. He just says, I'm gonna come.
Yeah. All of his jokes were just about him.
It's so blunt. It's
Like
not
they were in a
funny. It's
bar
like-
or something.
Yeah,
for
they were in
that,
a bar
because she
or-
orders a drink with cum all over her hands.
God.
Oh, that's what it is. The resistance people.
I'm glad I don't remember this movie. I'm glad. Like I'm glad that
we
my
paid
brain-
attention.
I did. My
Because
eyes are on the
woman
screen the whole
ratted out
time.
the
But
com-
like,
look, because the woman ratted
Ugh.
out I think the woman from the brothel that ratted people out. I think. Oh, we skipped the scenes where the commandant turns the woman who ratted them out into a vampire. And then Clint Howard. That's the super boring scene.
yes.
Yeah.
That Uwe Boll told us was super boring, where
That he-
he's
that he also
observing this
directed.
woman being a vampire, and then
Yes.
he throws like holy water all over her and shit.
And she bites the doctor. She
She bites Clint Howard, and the commandant's like, "This is a right fucking mess," or some shit.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we skipped that stuff.
But it doesn't matter because he
I
doesn't
know, I'm
come
just-
back, right?
She doesn't come back now.
Clint Howard doesn't come back.
I don't think we ever see him again either.
Never see him again. Oh, that long,
anyway, the
boring
re-
scene.
the-
You never see Clint Howard
The
again.
commandant knows where the revolution was because they go back to their place and it's all fucked up and people are dead.
right.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah,
guy
yeah, yeah.
like cries or whatever. Then they go to a bar and they have that scene where he like talks about how like everything's fucked, and then she like revitalizes him with some speech about God knows what.
Is this the scene where he's like,
And
you said
that's
you
the
wanted
thing-
something to drink, so I got you a White Russian?
Oh, and it's the
No,
girl.
no, it's after the scene.
God, that shit was so corny.
Fuck.
That was like-
where the fuck
Who
are
the fuck
we?
cares?
It doesn't
Who
matter.
cares about the white Russian woman joke? That joke was
Well, it's
bullshit.
the blackface person, right? Isn't the
No,
woman?
no.
Oh
no,
my-
no,
dude.
It was the white lady.
Yeah.
In
Oh,
like
okay.
in like a sequin red.
It was a
dress.
wide shot, so I just assumed.
Yeah.
That guy
That
is
was
in
the
another.
relay-
He's in another shot as a woman, though, isn't he?
He during the credits.
Yes.
Yeah.
In
during
the credits, he was in
Yeah.
in
dressed like a prostitute or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, God. So the revolution's
fucking
people got
incomprehensible.
attacked. I think this is where we get the dumbass scene of the commandant. The commandant turns the lieutenant into a vampire,
Right. Yes.
and he didn't want to be a vampire. He was at first, but then he was like into it.
How do you feel? Like, oh, I feel great. You know,
I think I can fly. He's like, well, don't do it now. And it's like, what?
What? Yeah.
Dude, this
okay.
dialogue.
'cause
Everybody.
they're improving. They're just improving. They're all
yeah.
fucking improving, trying to one up each other. So bad.
He bites him. Then the lieutenant goes to her apartment. This is the intervention scene.
Yes.
Where we now watch Vag like read a letter about his addiction to blood
Or how it's
affecting their relationships, and then the main guy does it, and it's God. Can one of you punch me in the face?
I'm glad that you remember this.
Yes. I just remember like bits and pieces
Yeah.
of this movie like that stuck out to me.
It's
But I
because
don't-
all it is bad joke after bad joke with that has nothing to do with anything
And
almost
it
for the
cut,
most part.
and it cuts so just it's
so abruptly, and
it's
they skip
everything is
entire
abrupt.
sections of plot,
It's abrupt
and characters just disappear.
I do remember the intervention because Vag is like acting like now all the characters are. The joke is they're acting like they're friends and they're intervening.
Yeah,
Right. That's the joke.
and he's like,
there.
"But I like being a vampire," and they're like, "No, you don't." And he's like, "But I do, though."
God end already.
Have we got to the part where they?
And
where
then
they-
somehow she like tells. There's that stupid thing. She's like grabs her boob and she's like, "If this is Germany and this is
This is
France,
France.
Right.
tell me where the commandant is."
And she pushes his
and
head.
he like points at her stomach, and then she like goes to smother him to death with her tits,
And there's milk all over.
but she stops and be like, is there anywhere else you want to like point out or anything? And he's
my
like,
God.
no. And then he stops again. He's like, wait, maybe, you know what? Never mind. Just kill me. Because
Right.
she's so fat.
And she kills him with the
and
milk,
Disgusting.
right?
No.
Well,
that's
yes, when
earlier.
he's dead and when his body falls away, there's like
There's
milk
milk over her-
everywhere.
That was the first guy that she smothered. I think
Was
way
it?
at the beginning of the movie.
No. This happened then.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She
I
smothered
thought-
him with her tits.
Oh no, she stabs him in this scene with a stake. He's right.
She stabs him with
But
the
in this scene, there is like a
we
milk
skipped
guy.
No,
the first,
he's right.
The first death on the train is the one where she smothers him and he
and the
like,
milk.
He's covered in milk from two
Why do I
spots.
remember that later in the movie?
There's
It's
a-
not. She
there
stabs
is milk
him with a
later.
stake.
There's milk later
I
when she's
remember,
hooked up
you're
to the
right.
machine and like the doctor's like
Because he dies and he goes rosebud and pulls
yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
There's a
pulls
scene
the-
before the doctor dies where she's laying on the floor, hooked up to like two tubes, or like she's like pretending to be hooked up to the tubes, and like like this is when they're trying to extract her blood. The doctor's like Clint Howard's saying how we've got your blood out, but the problem is you drink too many milkshakes every day because like whatever the two tubes and like the liquid was kind of a heavy white. You know?
Oh wait, you're right. All right.
You remember that part?
Yeah. Now
I
because
am
you're right. No. Hold
Utterly
on.
confused.
Back when
You
she
remember
was
that part?
getting
Sure.
like butt fucked with the roller by
Yeah,
the
yeah, the roller.
prostitutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
You're right.
remember.
She
Yeah.
does. She gets kidnapped right there. That's where this scene happens.
Where, yeah, but
And then when I was talking about she escapes and is like, I turned the commandant into a vampire, that's after she escaped after what you're talking about.
okay.
Trying to put it back together. This fucking
Oh
crap.
my god.
It's like a puzzle where you're
Yeah.
like, oh, wait, that piece looks right. And it's been in there for the last 20 minutes. And you realize it's not supposed to be there.
I don't want it. Oh god! And then what the fuck happens? God, fuck.
Where
me.
are we? Who knows? The lieutenant intervention happens. She stabs him with a stake.
She stabs him. He's
Then
dead.
we get the fucking bullshit scene of her dancing in front of those guards while the people wait in the woods being like, she's supposed to whistle at us.
Yeah.
And
well, at least we're there. At least we're wait. We're in the
we're
location.
close. We're getting close.
The location is the end
Yeah.
location.
I am so frustrated.
So then they go into the thing and they think they're going to find the commandant and a bunch of shit, but it's a trap.
Right.
And all these vampire Nazis.
But that's when
pop
she
at
shows
us.
up and Badge is dressed like a
Oh, yeah,
German
Badge is dressed
girl.
like- yes.
Oh yeah.
And then that-
God.
you said- that's the white
said
Russian
to dress
joke.
like a local.
He's like, who's she? Oh, well, you said you wanted
You wanted a
white Russian.
Yeah.
And it's a Russian woman in a red dress.
Yeah.
Blonde
So
hair.
that-
It's great.
It's great. The whole thing's great.
So great.
Which
I
is
can't-
like a fucking joke from a goddamn Zucker Brothers movie. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So then there's a big vampire fight. There's all these like vampires and shit. They're
Oh
fighting.
yeah, they're fighting.
Like,
this
okay,
this might
if
be
you're
actual
gonna do this
footage of-
movie right, the way that this is actually funny to me, at least, is that Blubberella should actually be really amazing at fighting. Right? I mean, that's like the fact that it's not an action comedy. You know what I mean? Like
she can't fight at all.
she
She,
can't
like,
fight. She sucks.
She rarely uses those swords to actually cut anybody.
right.
Mhm.
That like never happens in the movie. That's what she uses in Blood Rain, I guess. Those two swords.
Well,
but like
it's like he doesn't understand. I know, why am I even saying it? Like, you know how Buffy is like the core behind Buffy is the fact that a California girl named Buffy is the fucking vampire
Yeah,
slayer.
but she
Like,
is a badass.
right,
Yes,
and he
I
doesn't.
get it.
It's just amazing that you both doesn't understand.
Can we
that.
get to the end of this movie?
And we're there. It's done.
Feel like a corpse. It doesn't realize it's dead yet.
Dude, we're here.
I don't know. I can't remember what happens.
A
So
bunch
wait-
of shit. Then they're outside
Wait,
of
so
that building. and
They get inside. There's a
The
problem.
ending-
It's a trap.
there's zombies fighting fucking vampires. No,
There's
zombies.
vampires
Vampires
fighting
fighting
the
fucking
resistance.
Nazis.
Resistance.
Or resistance. yeah.
Nazis, whatever. Who the fuck cares? And then the commandant vampire guy, instead of saving it for Hitler, he drinks the
Blood rain,
the blood rain
or
stuff.
The fat walker,
The Fat Walker blood.
He
Yeah.
drinks it and like he OPs. Oh, also throughout this part, they're instead of guns, they're like holding their fingers and like
Yep. They didn't have prop
They
guns.
didn't have
They're-
props.
they're putting their two forefingers out and they're using them to
I
pretend they're
could
guns.
see you both saying it's just like Monty Python and the coconuts.
There were so many parts like that where I was just like, oh, I'm like, this is an attempt at like Monty Python like screwball absurdism, but it's not.
It
coming
doesn't work
close.
like
No.
that. No, it does not
No,
work like that.
aiming for the outfield and like dude get past the pitcher's mound. It's just so bad.
Like the gun thing might work in a different movie. Like all of a sudden they just don't have guns.
they just
have
are using
things.
their hands.
But not in this movie. Not so far.
So he drinks it and he
90
goes
minutes into his
OP.
nightmare.
He goes OP and then they're by a house and he's on a porch and he points his hands at the gay kid. Like this is the extent of his superpowers. He just like he goes bang bang and shoots the gay guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and he falls over.
He falls over.
And
right.
then there is
Some sort of showdown.
showdown. I don't care.
How did she kill him?
Didn't they have
Dude,
sex
I
in a
was
van?
barely awake. I was in.
They had sex in a van, but that was
It's-
earlier, wasn't it?
I don't remember that.
Her and the resistance guy have sex in that van.
Oh, they're on their way. That's when they were being.
That's when they were
captured.
being kidnapped. Yeah,
He
sorry.
like, puts his hand down his pants. He like
He
takes his jacket.
premature ejaculates.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And then she has like that white goop in her hand. It was so vivid and gross and nothing
It's
necessary.
gross. Yeah.
But he just like puts his thumb out of his his. He puts his hand on the front of his pants, puts his thumb out of his fly. That's my Matt P impression.
Okay, they're still at the end. They're in the end location.
They're in the end.
I don't remember
I don't know
what
how
happens.
she kills him.
I
I don't know
don't
how she killed him.
remember.
He
Or is the
dies
guy
somehow.
the guy comes in and kills him?
The commandant gets gotten.
They kill the commandant and
They
he
kill the
dies.
commandant,
It's
yeah.
bad, whatever. And
And
then,
then
And
the-
then
isn't it
Vance
her-
shows back up and he goes, "Oh, I didn't get shot. I just
he's a
didn't
terrible
wanna
shot
deal
by
with
and
this
runs
shit."
off screen. And then
Yeah.
there's the horrible weird makeout scene.
The makeout scene
where they're just like rubbing their teeth
Where he,
against
like-
each other's teeth.
Yeah.
he like comes again.
It just because
comes
I
all
came,
the time.
I came, and it's
And then
and then it's over, and
it
then
literally says the end, just cuts to the
and
end.
then after the end for every character they show you another like full 30 seconds of footage of them through the movie, like
but not
three-
blooper reel. It's
Some-
like
sometimes,
just
but not
shots.
really.
Some of it is like
Some
stuff
of
you
it, I
haven't
guess it
seen
is,
yet, and like
it just keeps going.
good lord, this is the worst.
And then
credits
there's
to
the
a movie.
then there's
really
the actual
bad.
credits for BloodRayne, over which part of it there's like more of her doing overdub, like outtake stuff. That's like,
Well, she says she like beat the bad guys and got the guy.
"Oh my god,
I'm a real superhero. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
ugh."
Oh my god. I feel like I've never forgotten a bonus this movie like
body
this.
hurts.
I don't think I've ever forgotten a bonus this movie this much. It's
Well, it's
like
because it doesn't tell you the plot. The
not-
plot is like the backgrounds as far as what we just
yeah. Usually you can
watched.
work your way through a story, but this there's no.
Oh, we forgot about
impossible.
the part when they were gonna test the Hitler or not the Hitler the Dwampire, whatever the fuck it was.
Damn fear.
Damn fear. They're gonna test the serum on the creature, and it's just a piggy bank instead of whatever the fuck it was.
Oh my.
Oh yeah.
God in
we also
heaven.
forgot about the bomb building sequence where
Oh, they're screaming at
where
the
Vag
resistance.
was like, "Oh, build a bomb or something. Actually, build a time machine. I'll go kill Hitler's money. We're winning so hard." I was like, "What?"
But wait a
Shut
minute.
up!
This is terrible.
Well, wait a
Just
minute.
Shut.
More so than
up!
that scene, the thing Jono just said about the scene where it's Clint Howard and the Commandant talking for like 3 whole minutes with no
Holy.
coverage on the other side,
None.
and then it's
All
just-
you hear is
he goes, "You think this will work?" And you're like, What's gonna work?" And then he
You
takes
just-
this
Yeah.
thing, and his arm goes down, and it cuts to the shot of a pig puppet
Do
thing.
you know what that reminded me of?
and
Was,
he touches it to the snout, and then it cuts away,
You know what that reminded me?
and you
Remember,
forget that you're alive at that point.
It was it reminded me of certain shots from like Malcolm in the Middle. Like in Malcolm in the Middle would have those
Yeah.
like really intense up close shots where you couldn't see what was
and then it
happening
would
off screen.
reveal.
Yeah, they reminded me of that in a way. Like it was,
Except those made sense.
yeah, and brought
That
and
pig
brought
came out
joy.
of nowhere.
Oh, that movie was not
Fuck.
not fun.
I'm so sorry, man.
That's it's okay. No, it's fine. It's fine.
So, would you recommend anyone watch?
Yeah,
Blubberella?
do you-
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Unless you've seen BloodRayne Third Reich.
Even then.
Even then, probably not.
No, maybe
Even then.
no. You shouldn't watch that movie.
I
You
wouldn't
should watch
recommend
it.
dude, it's like disgusting.
There's 2 scenes with blackface in it, right? Like all the way. Like,
And way too many Jew Auschwitz Holocaust jokes.
fat
Yeah.
jokes.
He plays Hitler.
Gay jokes.
Oh yeah, there's yeah.
Matt's dying.
Name an offensive category, and the
probably-
movie does check it.
It's probably in there.
Yeah, it's
It's not. Yeah.
0 stars. 0 anything. I don't. I'm sorry that I gave any attention to this movie at all.
I'm sorry I made you.
No, it's okay.
Man.
learned
I
a
hadn't
lot.
seen it for like 5 years, and then
Yeah.
I didn't remember anything. I just remembered the fish,
I
which is
remember
like
the
a jolly
fish.
fun bad thing.
I remember the fish. I remember Precious.
Oh, the precious.
I didn't remember the precious thing.
Thank God for that.
That's
fish.
I remembered him playing
insane to
Hitler,
me.
but-
That's
Fish-
insane to me. That
Matthew
you forgot the
Lillard,
Precious
Lillard as
thing.
the fish is the only bright shining star in that entire
can't be
sea
a
of
real
shit.
Fact. That's so.
It says
nuts.
it, Matt.
I
We're gonna
believe
have-
it.
Look, I need it to be
Tweet
him.
at Matthew Lillard. Be like Matthew Lillard.
Are you the
Praise
fish?
Shaggy. Did you play the fish?
I don't think.
Show me your power by showing me the fish costume.
I don't
oh my
think it-
God! What if he has it? What if he did steal it? And
And he
tweets
has it.
He tweets a picture of him in the fish costume.
Well, then our life
I don't think he
means
wants
something.
to put himself in it because then a million people are gonna go look this movie up.
I'm getting ready.
If Matthew Lillard's a smart man at all, he's not gonna put himself anywhere near this fucking
Yeah,
movie.
it has two people in
burned that-
blackface,
He
dude.
burned that costume. He stole that costume and he got rid of it.
I'm getting ready to perform Seppuku.
You want a knife?
Matt is
Do you have
kneeling
a
on the
knife?
floor. Matt is
Yeah.
kneeling on the floor
Do
of
you have
Bob's
a knife?
kitchen
Do you have a
because
knife?
he's just had it with this night in this movie.
This movie's
Well,
killing me.
Jono, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I did enjoy
I hope you'll
myself.
come back sometime and watch a better movie
Absolutely.
because I'm really sorry. I feel bad because
Yeah,
you were
we
like,
should have watched Alone in the Dark, Bob.
I mean, I wanted to watch Wizards because I just think like I mean I love that movie and I know it's beloved, but like it's got a lot of editing problems and that's like that was my baseline was that like
that's how.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was like
so
it's
now-
kind of slow at points, you know.
Jono, your
Kind of
baseline is like
slow.
it's so far above
I
what we were
know.
thinking.
I know. I don't know what I was thinking either, man. Just that Matt hasn't
But
seen it.
just so you know, like Blubberella is like low.
This is.
I mean,
real
like we
low.
have a line, and I feel like Blubberella is
quite
below it by a mile.
I need to. Oh God.
Yeah.
It's not a movie.
It's not a movie. Like it's not. It's a
And
movie made
it's
while
like-
another movie was being filmed, and then it was edited later, and there was.
It's like if you showed
parodies
like
shoved
a,
in it.
like a complete lunatic and like the internet. If you showed them memes,
Oh, yeah.
and then they made their own website.
Oh, what did I say?
That's what this
It's like a
movie-
meme
yeah.
movie.
This movie
It's
was written
insane.
by a message board.
Yeah,
That's what.
yeah. The humor. Oh my God.
Also,
It's
like,
just-
why is Uwe Boll trying to be a comedian? You know what I mean?
Back in
Like,
2010.
what was the purpose of making it?
yeah, like I guess
Why do
I guess
this?
it's if he could sell it.
No, I think it's just for the hell of it. I think this is just I think it's a fun run. I honestly think it's just fucking masturbatory
Well-
and like for themselves. Like we're just gonna be we're in Croatia making a movie. Let's
Making a
just
movie.
keep doing dumb.
We got
shit.
the sets already.
Who the fuck cares?
I guess. Look,
I wish more directors did what he did, but I hate
Yes.
that he did what he did.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Spielberg,
Like,
you hear that?
right?
I want to see.
I mean, fucking. Can you?
Where's Jaws, but with
could you-
a fat
Nah.
shark?
Yeah,
I want to see Fat Logan.
Fat Logan. Yeah, dude. Fat Logan. All right, Hugh, leave. Jack Black, come on in.
Yeah, like,
That'd be actually Jack Black might be an okay Wolverine. Anyway,
I'd rather talk about that than this movie. I just got a much like brighter sensation and like feeling when you brought up Jack Black and Fat Logan like than I did at
because
any
this
point
movie
in
doesn't
this
make
movie.
you feel anything but, like just
Bad.
depression, it's
Anger.
sadness.
mhm.
I just want to say, if for some reason, if Uwe Boll, which I hope I'm saying his name right, if he ever listens to this, tell us why.
Why did
Tweet me at ThunderGruntBob on Twitter, and just tell me. I want to know why. Just say, give me 2 sentences.
Yeah, and if you have to
Is it
punch
money?
one
If
of
it's
us in
money,
the
it's
face or
okay.
whatever,
I guess what?
fine.
If you want to box us,
Yeah, you want to come and punch my head in, that's fine, but you have to explain.
if I'm gonna get knocked out
Some
in
stuff.
I
a
don't-
ring, I want it to be by Uwe
I don't
Boll.
want you to punch my head in. I don't really give a shit why you made this movie. Don't come near me.
I'd say that's probably a more acute review of what you thought than this entire podcast. Don't come near me.
Don't come near me. I don't.
Don't
I
ever
don't
talk
want
to
to
me or
know.
my son
Go-
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not.
All right. I guess that's everything when it comes to
Oh,
Blubberella.
can you think you got any more?
Oh,
No!
Yes.
shut up.
Let's keep talking for an hour. All right, bye.
Good night, everybody.
You've just listened to Bonus Disc, available only on Thundergrunt. Questions, complaints, and movie suggestions can be posted to facebook.com/bonusdisc. Opinions and criticisms of the hosts of Bonus Disc are 100% valid, even though they took the time to watch the movies you were too ignorant to appreciate.